So excited.
I'm so excited. I'm like ready. I got my tea. I've got you. It's all happening. Okay, good.
It's happening.
It's happening. I love it that you can do it because I didn't get it together to go on anything else. We'll just see how this goes. Okay, great. Now, are you sharing with me or I'm sharing with you? I can't remember on TikTok.
On TikTok? I mean, I don't care. Why don't you share with me? I don't care.
I'm sharing with you. Here we go.
You go live.
Yeah, I'm going live now. I'm live now. So I'll just find you. There you are, pretty lady. Okay, there you go. So I'm sending you that. And there we are.
Okay. And now
Yay! I mean, I love seeing all your little links in there. It's so exciting. Okay. There we are. Okay. How exciting. Let me move my little sign out of the way. We made it. Oh my God. We're here. We made it. Hi, everybody. Okay, good.
So is your volume down?
Oh yeah. So do I put my volume down on my, which thing do I put it on down? I got it.
Turning TikTok down.
Okay, but they can hear me still, so it's okay. So that works fine. Hi everybody. Welcome in. Oh my goddess.
Oh my God.
Like happy dance, like
But also, I need people to understand that when you and I talk in private, this is exactly how we talk to each other. Like,
hi. Oh my God. So first of all, hello. Oh my God. I love over reverberating. Okay. So they're hearing me over reverberate. So do I have to like turn off something? Let me know. How is that? I don't know how that's going to work. We're figuring it out, guys.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're not sure. It's good. No, Jen says it's good now. We've got a Virgo in the stands. Okay, and you can hear me too. Okay, good. As long as we got a Virgo in there, we're good.
We both had to turn our volume down so we didn't have two speakers going.
Exactly. That's it. Okay. Oh my gosh. Hi, everybody. Lorenda. Woo. I don't know where to look, but I think I'm going to look. I don't know if I'm going to look. I'll just split my eyes. What do you do? Because I'm close. I mean, I'm near. I mean, we're in both places, guys, obviously. We're on YouTube and TikTok. So here we go. We're figuring it out. And I'm pretty close, but I'm going to be a little split personality like this.
That's what I do like literally every Tuesday.
I know. I can see you handle it really well when you do it too. Okay, good. So first of all, let's say hello to everybody. How are we? I'm so excited. Dude, still some echo, but not always. Okay. Well, I know. We're trying. We're trying, y'all. We're trying. If the sound's bad, I hope it corrects itself. So we'll see. So anyway, Lorenda, first of all, how are you, friend? Miss you. Your hair looks amazing, by the way.
I washed it today.
It looks so good. Oh, Jen is here. We got all the people in here. Oh my God. And we have so much to talk about. Hello, everybody. Welcome. So everybody pretty much that I know knows Lorenda, and people are coming in, but I want to introduce you because we are on YouTube. And so some people know you. Look how beautiful our little matching names are. Oh my God. So anyway, I'm sorry. I gotta get into it. So I did want to introduce everybody to Lorenda, technically speaking. So for both you guys. So Lorenda, first of all, first thing she is she's my friend. So that's the first thing. So, but Lorenda is an incredible medium. She's a psychic. She's also a QHHT practitioner, which is essentially past life regressionist, but a regressionist. I mean, come on. And she's also an incredible mentor and business owner. And she's really a very dear, dear friend of mine, and so we thought, oh my gosh, we're going to get on tonight and we're going to talk about just a bunch of, whatever topics flow. Now we're not doing it. We're a little more organized than that. We're actually talking about the subject of channeling.
Yes.
And all that means, because Lorenda has a ton of experience. I have a lot of experience. We're going to talk about everything. We want you guys to feel very comfortable asking questions. Hi, Amy. Yes, we love, who doesn't love Lorenda? Come on. Tutu.
Oh, I got a list of people who do not love Lorenda, but that's okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hey, I don't give a shit because I don't want to know them. So there you go. But anyway, I was going to ask you a question really quick. Have you been seeing repeating numbers like more than normal? Because that's been happening a lot in all my universe, like more than normal. Bella Jane says, hello, Lorenda.
Hello. I see. I can see them.
Yes. Oh, good. Okay. I'm glad you can see them.
So here's the thing. I have not been seeing repeating numbers, anything different.
Okay.
However, I have a whole thing we can totally deep dive in where
we're always
it's
deep diving. Get ready
like,
for it. Hi, Raven.
it's yummy and oh my gosh, like life altering literally in the last 48 hours.
Oh my God. Because I haven't even talked to you in 48 hours. So
No, I haven't even told you. A lot of times, so how Carey and I function is a lot of times we'll just send like 5 or 6 minute long voice notes to each other. Be like, oh my God, girl, you're not gonna believe. I haven't even had a chance to digest the things that have been happening in the last 48 hours.
Oh my God, really? Seriously? Oh my God.
And I know that it's all relevant to this.
Yes. This tonight. Oh my God. I love it. See, there we go. And you know what else that I love about that, Lorenda, is that there is the timing of everything and how this is us, you and I being so open to channeling and literally having information come in and then sharing it in real time. Because that's a big part of it, isn't it? Because
yes.
Here's one thing I want to quickly say. Don't you feel like, if Lorenda and I are on social media, obviously, we are teaching all the time. We work with clients all the time. And the thing that I love about you, but I know you and I have a commitment to, is making it accessible to people so they feel comfortable, that they can do it too, right? So it's not just a few people sitting up here who have done it for so many years and you can't do it. We want it to be understandable and accessible, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Do you want to tell your story though? In other words, this conversation could get casual really quick. So
I don't know, we might flip people off at some point. We might just, I don't know. Sometimes we just like do all the things.
Off the rails. That's okay.
Yeah, we are. It is. But that's what I love. And also for those of you who don't know, I went to Oregon. We did a whole event back in October. Like Carey and I've seen the picture you saw in our promo is like legit, not Photoshopped. It was us.
Someone said it's hard to hear because of the echoing. I'm not sure if anyone has any ideas about echoing. Do you have I
don't know. The only thing I can suggest is go to the YouTube.
Okay. Yeah. So if you're on YouTube where the sound it might be better. Amy says she loves exactly. Don't you love her, Tiara? Hello. So, yeah, if I'm hearing turn down one device, I'll turn down mine.
Yeah, I don't.
Maybe each other turn down so it's not picking up the other's mic, because it's definitely not this mic, and
it's not on YouTube. Okay,
yeah,
it's because YouTube we cannot control. Like we can control things. Look, I got my fancy microphone. We can control things here.
So yeah, the TikTok echo is gnarly. So if you guys want, we are on YouTube, which is actually a little bit of a better experience as far as you coming in, because it's bigger. The chat is more organized. So if you want, you guys can stream into all of our links on YouTube. Lorenda is still at Lorenda Carr Medium. Is that your handle, sweetie? I think so. Yeah. And mine is at Scary. Some people think so. Patty Stovall in the house. It's at Carey Spirit Mentor. You could try that. We're sorry about the echo. We can't do much about it. We're trying our best. But if you jump on over to YouTube, it's good. Hi, Patty girl. We love you.
We love you.
With Holly is here. Oh my God. Hello, people.
This is why I keep saying I've got to go live at night.
But
who the heck?
Yeah.
I don't have the minutes right now, but I just happen to have tonight. And you were like, let's do it.
I know we did, because we knew if we didn't go tonight, because next week you have a whole thing down the rabbit hole. You're so done.
I'm in, next week I'm in Minnesota.
You got Minnesota for dance. Thank you guys for being here. Everybody says, so the sound is really good if you go on YouTube. Not that we're trying to do that, but you set an alarm to be here. Oh my God. I'm so excited. We better perform.
I know, right? Hold on. Hang
on. Wait, I wish I had a crown. I don't have a crown. Lorenda, it's a crown. Lorenda's a Leo, so she has to wear a crown.
I have to wear a crown. I've got.
If the sound is really bad, I'm so sorry. You can come on over to YouTube, where you can go on either. I haven't been live forever. Great to see you too, baby. So good to see you. Okay, so it's better. Someone says it's better. Okay, we're gonna roll it. So I want to say tonight, Lorenda and I, if we can kind of
We got
We're just gonna have fun. First of all, that's going to be the conversation, and we still need to teach a class together. We
keep talking about it.
We've been talking about it. Oh my God, we're both so busy though. It's like dynamite exploding in two places.
I know.
Okay, so Lorenda said you're wearing over your Tiffany's because you're all about Tiffany the last time we saw you. Oh, you were wearing that when you came to Oregon. Oh,
that's so funny. You're right. And I forgot that but this to me was like, we were going to go to dinner. It's nice out. We're in the convertible. I'm like, I need long sleeves, but not sweaty.
Yeah. Like it's springtime. Okay. So let's talk about, tonight we're talking about channeling, but it's also going to be just a kind of we're hanging out. So we want you guys to feel free to ask questions, please. And thank you, because we want this to be also an experience where you can understand how you channel too. So let me start with asking you a question. Okay. That's a good place.
And then I'll tell my story.
Then I want you to tell your story. So, okay. No, tell your story first.
No. Did you have a specific question you were going to ask and you're going to?
Yes, sorry.
Ask me the question, then also go back because you're going to be like, talk about your dream.
Because I get really serious. I look at myself on video. I go, you're so serious because I'm teaching something. So I'm like, and when you understand the technical matter of energy, and then you touch it to the karma, da-dee-dee. Okay, with the Lorenda, it's not like that. So let me ask you something. We have too much fun. It's too much fun. Okay, so here's what I do want to ask you. How did you start channeling? How did you start consciously knowing? Let me say consciously.
Okay, there is a story behind that.
Let's hear it.
I didn't think I could channel. I didn't know really what it meant or what the difference was. The first time when I reflect back, the first time I ever did it was when I was just learning tarot cards. I'm like, well, I'm not a medium. I just do psychic things. Like I get down, not understanding like what it meant to be a medium. I had I thought I knew, but I actually didn't.
Right.
So I was doing a tarot reading for someone. And all of a sudden I'm like, but also this card makes me think of like a child and this whole situation. And all of a sudden I'm talking. And at one point my eyes were like this big.
Yeah.
And this is back when I charged like no money at all. I did readings for free because I was like, well, I'm still learning. And I'm talking. And at one point I go, this isn't me talking. These are not my thoughts. And I just, and it was a child coming through to give her teacher, the person that was sitting with me was a teacher.
Wow.
And this was someone who was very concerned about how the child passed.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't even tell you today what that message was because they kicked my conscious ass to the curb.
All right. You went to that place.
And I was like, afterwards, I'm like, that was bizarre. That was weird. Fast forward to many years later, I want to say like at least 5, if not longer, 5 years later, I'm finally working with Reverend Glenda, my now mentor at Camp Chesterfield, and I'm in development class. And all of a sudden, I was like, we're practicing message work on each other. We all have to deliver 3 messages, platform style. It's amazing. All of a sudden, I start speaking with an accent.
Yes.
Again, the same thing happens. My eyes were like,
yeah.
Reverend Glenda has a very strict rule. You are not allowed to do trance or channeling unless I've seen you in person to be able to work with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or work with you individually so you understand the rules, you understand the boundaries, you understand what is happening. So nothing, basically just for my own sake.
Yes. Yep.
So after I was like, I'm just, is it okay? So anyway, the message is so you can refer to me as a proper gentleman. And I can't even do the accent right. Like I can't even fake that shit. So then I was like, again, eyes are wide. I'm wondering what the heck is happening right now. I'm like, I'm going to get in trouble because I haven't done this with her personally yet. And she's going to yell at me. And like, it's my inner Leo of being afraid of disappointing my teacher. Right.
Right.
And she's like, oh, that's really good. Okay, great. Well, just call me later, Lorenda. I love her. She's old and cute and adorable. So I messaged her right after. I'm like, so I guess I need to schedule a time to meet with you.
Right.
And then I met with her and then in person in her little seance room where magic happens in her seance room.
Oh,
Like
sure.
magic. I sit down, I'm like, I don't know how to call this in. I don't know how to, my biggest fear is that what if I bring through someone that the sitter doesn't want to see?
Right.
What if I bring through what if I channel a demon, even though I don't really like believe in it? Like, what if I bring through something bad?
Mm-hmm.
Right. I was so afraid. And
Mhm.
she was like, well, let me ask you what my mentors ask. What feels more natural? Mediumship or channeling?
Right.
Out of my mouth says channeling.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I done it twice with no guidance, but
Mhm.
also it was so easy. And then she's like, okay, let's bring in Lily. I'm like, oh, okay. Lily's one of my guides. I'm like, okay, we'll bring her in. Lily steps in, blends with my energy. All of a sudden, I'm chatting it up, leaving messages for me. And then we move her out, bring Dr. Mike in. And all of a sudden, we're chatting with Dr. Mike, my teacher guide.
Mm-hmm.
And then before I know it, a half an hour passes
Yeah.
where we're just chatting it up with Glenda and my guides. And then I come out of it, I'm like, wow, that was surreal.
Mm-hmm.
Did I make that up? She's like,
Right.
I don't know. What did you talk about? I'm like,
That's a great question. I don't know.
I don't know. And she goes, that's how you know. I just love her. Like you would, oh my God, Carey, you have to come see me.
I know I'm going to come. I'm already coming. I'm just coming.
Reverend Glenda, because she's like, oh my goodness. She's so cute.
You know what? Let's do this because I know some people are brand new and some people don't. Let's define channeling. So let's each give our blended senses. So I would like you to start. What is your understanding, your belief, your gnosis about channeling? Why don't you share that?
My definition?
Yes, your definition.
Channeling?
And how do you arrive at your definition?
Because Glenda told me. That's where I stand on all that, right? Basically, because I work, full disclosure, I do development classes and my mentor is through Camp Chesterfield Spiritualist College here in Central Indiana. So that's where majority of my training, not all of my training, I've done some stuff through Arthur Findlay and I've taken Eileen Davies' trance class. I will say Reverend Glenda, 100 times better, just saying. But my definition of channeling is that flow of information coming into the conscious mind and out here. Like if I were to put art to it, I would say like, imagine the stick figure and like a cloud, and it comes in here and out here. Whereas in contrast to that, trance channeling is when the spirit goes, hey, incoming cloud, and goes,
right.
And I give over and give the, I am Raven. I'm in Westfield. I give over my vocal cords and my body to allow spirit to come in and utilize my body to communicate with the sitter.
Perfect. That's such a beautiful illustration. I love that so much.
And that's how I see it. Versus mediumship, which is I get where the spirit can come into my aura. It's not a blending. It's not like really, and it's very different than just the stream of, I call it my bank tube. You know how when you go to the bank and they go and it goes to the bank and they come back, right? Do you like that noise? But that's the noise. That's what happens. Like when you do mediumship or when you do channeling, it comes in a bank tube. Right. And then mediumship's like, oh, look at those signs out on the street.
Right, exactly.
It's like I'm driving and I'm like, oh, hey, there's a sign. Oh, there's a sign. So we can feel them and we can see them. And sometimes we see spirit. It all depends on what the spirit's going to meet you where you are energetically.
Yes.
But but my conscious mind is having to deliver the message.
Yes.
Versus channeling, which is like,
yeah, exactly.
Versus trance, which is like, I'll be at the beach with a hot cabana boy.
I know, it's so true. I love that so much. That's such a great articulation of what the process is. So just to clarify, we're regrouping. We have the same we're in the same place with that. And there is different levels of channeling. I'll just say that the other articulation, right? There's different levels of channeling. That's why tonight we're going to talk about the different types, because we want you. Hi, Ray. I have 2 ravens in here. I love that. I have my 2 ravens. There's my other raven. So there's different levels of channeling, which you can learn about. And so you can do something as in-depth as the trance, which where your soul is taking a little vacation. Bashar talks about that. Well-known mediums talk about that, trance mediums. And then you have more of the blending and the connection. But then a part of channeling also is when you're tapping into any consciousness around you is part of it. And you're creating a link of connection. And it's just about like, what do you feel drawn to? What do you feel? What draws you in? What's interesting you? And I've done, in my early days, I started channeling in my 20s. Oh my gosh, my late 20s. And I started doing that where I would do more like trance. I would zip out and then someone come in. But I soon realized for me that I better like the other type where I was connecting and I could share with my clients and my students what was happening and break things down. But I still, and you and I have to get together, because I am now channeling a whole other part of a modality with the Akashic records, which are with the working with the archangels. So I need your help to channel. So anyway, yes. So there's lots of different types of channeling. And so that's what, now, first of all, I want to hear your story, because you said you have a story. And if you guys have questions, please put them in the comments. Either Lorenda or I will answer them, address them. So please don't feel like you were not paying attention to you. Okay.
Yeah.
We are. So go ahead, my love.
So interestingly enough, I actually have 2 stories, but
I love a story. I love a story.
We love a good story.
We do.
So let's go back. We're going to do the story before the story I was thinking I wanted to tell, because last week I was it last week?
I missed you so much. Lorraine, I just have to tell her I miss your face so much. Sorry. We haven't talked for like a week and I'm like, oh.
I know, it's so weird. It's been like almost 2.
We're too busy.
Practically a year. It feels like a year. It's been a week and a half, but it feels
10 years.
10 years. Anyway, so I was in trance class a couple of weeks ago, in-person trance class at Camp Chesterfield with Glenda. And because if she's offering a live trance class, you're
like there. And that's why I need to move. I'm not going
to. I'm like sending the voice notes.
Yeah.
I'm on the way.
I believe I just channeled a phoenix.
I know. Oh my God, that was insane. So the week before I had trance class, I've been working with Alyssa, the musical medium.
Yes, I'm so excited. I missed your live yesterday. I'm sure it was.
But also just once a week, she's like, "Hey, do you want to practice?" I'm like, "Okay." In our schedules, it's you know how weird it is when schedules match with me. Weird.
I know. It's good. It's so good.
It is. So we just been practicing. And Spirit tells me what I need to work on, and same with her. So it's been interesting because they're teaching us different ways of connecting. Anyway, all of a sudden, like there's a whole reference to like violet and the color purple and all these things. And I'm like, interesting. And she's like, and she couldn't take it. I'm like, you know what? Why don't we just both make a note? We shall see.
Exactly.
Because we both will be like, we both have been doing this long enough that we're like, well, this should be fun. We'll see how it goes.
I like that.
Then like 4 days later is when I'm in trance class. And by the way, I forgot to sign up for that class. Wow. It was not one of her regular classes that I go to. I had it on my calendar, but I never signed up for it. I'm on the way. It's an hour away. And I'm like texting. I'm like, so Reverend Glenda, I'm on the way. Is there room?
Right.
Class?
Right.
It is in person, right? It's just in my calendar. And I just assumed I was showing up. She's like, well, you might be sitting on the floor. I'm like, game on.
I can take it. I'll bring a pillow.
I got it. I don't even need that. I'm like, I'll just floor it is. I'm a dancer. Yeah. I can stretch. Turns out 2 other people showed up that hadn't registered, but then, so there were 3 of us total. But 3 people had canceled. So there were just enough seats for every person. It was cool. And then all of a sudden, and it's funny because leading up to I was texting Alyssa all week going, more purple and violet things showing up in in the weirdest, most random ways.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know, maybe this was for me instead of you. I'm like, sorry about that, but maybe, you never know. Mm-hmm. And she's like, that's fine, cool, whatever. So I'm sitting there, I'm third in line to channel. Okay, there's like 15 of us in the room. I'm third in line to channel.
Yes.
And first person goes, I'm like, that was awesome. Okay, great message work. She just you could see the transfiguration, the blending, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, cool. But during that time, I'm feeling like the spirit here. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be good. Mm-hmm. And I kept hearing violet, violet. And I kept feeling something above my head. And I'm like, wonder what's happening here. And she goes, I am Queen Violet. I'm Queen of Violet. I couldn't quite understand what she was saying, right?
Yep.
So I'm like, well, I guess I've learned now, I've done this long enough. I've learned to just trust it's good. Whatever happens is going to happen. So then usually I sit to do trance. Mm-hmm. And Glenda goes, because she freaking knows me. And she's like, Lorenda, you're going next. I'm like, but she's next. And, and she goes, and I was like, okay, I guess I'm going next. She goes, would you like to stand behind my desk? I'm like, first of all, that's a big deal to stand behind your mentor's desk in where her energy always is.
Right.
When you really revere a person. Mm-hmm. I'm like, am I? She's like, I think you are. Wow. I know. And then she's like, and make sure to hold on to the chair. So I stand up. I kid you not. It was crazy. I'm like, okay, well, I know I have someone here. Let's see what she has to say. All of a sudden, I felt, as the transfiguration happens, I invite her in. I feel tall. First of all, I'm 5'4". Mm-hmm. I don't ever feel tall. Mm-hmm. I felt tall and thin. I felt like I had raven black hair and like this. And all of a sudden I felt my body kind of shift into this position. And I'm like, oh, this feels like ballet.
Right.
Good answer.
Right.
And I felt this presence above my head. Keep in mind, this is the last crown that I just bought too. So there's a whole.
Tell the story. I'm grabbing the card that I showed you when you telling me the story.
Yes.
What I'm talking about.
So then I feel this crown of purple flames above my head. Mm-hmm. And I hear her say, I am what you would call a queen.
Oh my gosh.
And you can call me Queen Violet if that makes you happy. and then all of a sudden my hands are doing these things. And then she puts flames in my palms and she's offering them. And it was a whole thing, right?
Yep.
So then that happens. Then it was like, and then she steps out, she delivers her message, steps out, and I feel deflated. Then this next week and a half, I'm like, okay, well, that was cool. Mm-hmm. But I kept getting purple references nonstop. I'm like, I wonder if this is a new guide.
Yeah, guide. I like how you said that.
It's a new guide. Someone like a master teacher coming to teach me something, but I've also felt this weird presence, and I'm reading Fourth Wing. So part of me is like, am I making this shit up?
Am I embellishing?
Am I making this up? But I felt
so everybody, it's very normal for your mind to try and make sense of it. And it's just the whole point of it is you just have to observe it. You're not trying to understand it from an intellectual perspective. It's
right.
The two don't meet as well. Yeah.
You just can't. So this whole week, since I was on platform at Camp Chesterfield and in another spiritualist church all on the same day last week, crazy things happened. But on the way there, I felt a dragon step in and was like, I'm a guide. You're going to be talking about me. And I'm like, this is crazy. Ever since the Queen Violet thing happened, and that comes in, all this weird energy building. But when I go to sleep at night, I don't dream. Yeah. I'm out. I sweat. Yeah. I'm like, it's a hot flash, whatever. Yeah. I sweat at night because I'm in menopause, and it is what it is, right? Can't help it. And then, hi, Nick. And then the other day, 2 days ago, I go, spirit.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, I should really learn to not do that. Because spirit's like, oh, now she's getting all Leo on us.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Put her in her place, right? I was like, why don't I dream? And why haven't I heard you in my sleep? Why haven't I felt you? Why haven't I've never done predictive dreams, but my dreams usually will help me sort out my day, even if it's in the weirdest ways, right? I'm like, I haven't dreamed in months.
Yeah. I think that's you and I the same. We have, because we're doing so much work with spirit, I feel like you get a break. Well, your conscious self gets a break.
Well, then I said, this is the dumb thing I said. You ready for this? You're going to laugh because you're going to be like, damn it.
I understand the human.
I was like, and come to think of it, I haven't had any downloads or upgrades lately, any energy expansions. Aren't I due for one of those?
You're just like poking the bear when you do that. You know that, right? I think I'm gonna just see what happens with this.
I should know.
Oh my God.
I told you guys she was gonna be like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? You know what's gonna happen. So then like the other night, I'm like, I had no wine. Like this was setting the scene. I had no wine. Like I was just like normal, exhausted day, laid down. Crazy dreams. All night. And then as I'm waking up, I hear like this weird staticky electric version of my name clairaudiently go, Lorenda.
Yeah.
And I was like,
did it kind of freak you out a little bit?
It didn't freak me out. At this point, nothing freaks me out. But and I was like, okay, the sun is up. Thank you for respecting the boundaries.
Yeah.
On the timing. And I was like, but what? I kid you not. I'm listening and reading because I do both because I'm ADD to going back to Fourth Wing, which is all about dragons. And in this book, the dragon talks telepathically to its writer. I hear in this fucking dragon's voice that I've been listening to, all of a sudden, like, you asked for this. And I'm like, well, while I'm asking for things, how about we not make me sweat all night? How about that? I'll take the dreams and the expansion and the talking to me if I cannot sweat all night. How's that sound?
Right, exactly.
Okay. Is that a good negotiation?
And he's like, wait a minute, the dragon, it's a fire thing. That's
so then for the last 24 hours, when spirit's talking to me, it's in that voice, which goes back to spirit will meet you where you are. Right? So it's in that voice of this character that I hear instead of my own. Because you and I both know when spirit comes in and you're channeling, and this is another good topic for discussion, how the information comes in. When you're channeling, whether it's channeled writing, clairaudience, it's not some weird disembodied voice. It's usually our own voice. So to hear something different, not once, but in two different voices, I was like, oh wait, I asked for this.
Yeah, you did ask for it.
And I'm like, but this could be fun because you know what? You and I have been doing this long enough. It doesn't freak me out.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It is really fun, and it's exciting, and it's so much. And now I want to go back a little because I'm a goddess nerd. I'm the goddess nerd. Welcome.
Oh, and I love your goddess.
So here's what I want to go back to the violet thing because I think I want to put more nuance into the message that you heard later that came through about it, because I think you were channeling
Portia.
I think Portia, which I was going to say.
Yeah.
Did I show you this?
No, you told me about it.
You shut up. I did not show.
Oh, wait, you did. I don't remember.
No, but it doesn't matter.
That was 100 years ago.
Yeah, it's okay. So talk about that significance, because there's some, if you guys have ever heard of Saint Germain, okay, Saint Germain is really connected in as a more of ascended master, specifically to help us during this age of Aquarius. And his counterpart is the violet, is Lady.
I didn't know that.
No, I know. That's why you come to me.
Right.
You come to me.
Yes. So everybody's like, what? I know.
What?
And
Yeah, so
you
they're counterparts in an ascension way. So from the mid-level way of consciousness of helping with transmutation, and also something with the crown chakra. So that's why we want to,
and
I want to tell you to talk about that.
The healing flame that she gave to everyone as a kernel of flame.
That's right, because that's violet flame is yes.
I told you all, yummy.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
You're welcome. But also, do you want fries with that?
Mm-hmm. I was actually talking about dinner. I was like, what do we have for dinner? So anyway, so a couple of people asked great questions. Let's go back. Okay, sweetie. Let me first go back to Emma's. Oops, sorry, I'm moving around on TikTok. It's so funny to be in the teeny little screen, and then I'm like, hi, must.
Yeah. I feel like my head is giant over here.
No, it's
over here. I'm like,
Emma did ask a great question. And then I'll also, oh my goddess. Okay, wait. Anyway, she asked about when you know that you're doing what I think she said, what's it like to do trance? What did you ask again, Emma? And then another person said, oh, this is a very good question, which I think we both should address. I'm going to put it up on the screen. We'll be right there, sweets, with your question too. Okay, here it is. Do you feel there are certain things you need to learn before learning or attempting to channel? Yes.
Yes. Absolutely. You go first.
Okay, so let me go back to this is my education. Hi, it's good to see you. How have you been? Anyway, let me just explain. This book actually is a really good diagnostic, very good beginner-friendly guide. Very good. I read this 30 plus years ago.
Hey, it's purple.
And it's purple. Sorry, I'm so annoying. Anyway, this is a lot of people refer to this. Now, this really does complement what you're talking about. It talks about, first of all, preparing your space, your energy, understanding your own energy first, and doing your own energy clearing, understanding energetic boundaries, understanding exactly what Lorenda's saying, why her teacher said, I want to see you first. If I'm responsible for teaching you how to do this technique, I want to make sure you have all the fundamentals. Good job. So this book actually is really, really good. It goes through a lot of it. Details, importance, talks about the process, what happens, what it's like. So if you're a beginner, I recommend this book because, I mean, this is the one I do refer my students to if they just want to do it on their own. Because a lot of people are going to do it on their own. You know, that's the thing. They're going to do it on a lot of people are going to start, and try to experiment.
Well, and I was actually with someone who's a medium, untrained, completely undeveloped, doesn't know their guides. They're just out in the wild, living their best life, but also do paranormal investigations. And I'm standing next to him, and all of a sudden he's like, no. And he's like channeling this dude in a jail we're investigating. And I step in being trained, and I'm like, sir, can you identify yourself?
Yeah.
But this person had no training.
Yeah, they just kind of blended, and the rest was history. That's why you have to be careful.
And when it was done, he was like, I've never had that. And he looked at me, I'm like, and see, you
don't have any energy.
Like, I've been telling you for 3 years now, you need to develop it and you need to understand. He's like, that's crazy. How do I not allow
and he's also putting himself in harm's way. Let's just be honest, because if you don't understand your own frequency, if you don't understand your own energy, it's not meant to make you feel fearful, but it is meant to make you understand that. Absolutely mindful. Like, you've got to have energetic balance. Like, before I was doing any channeling years ago, I had already gone through school too. I went to school for 2 years. I'd already learned about my energy. I already learned about energy healing. Now, you don't have to wait 3 years, but you do really have to start with the fundamentals, I think, which Lorenda and I both teach in every single thing we do. So any hoodle, you go ahead and say what your viewpoint is of this as well, honey.
Wait, what are we talking about? The question.
She's like, I was thinking about what I was going to say.
No,
we were talking about this question, baby doll, which is this. I'm going to show you again. I'm putting it on the screen.
You feel certain things. Yeah. So this is directly from Reverend Glenda, and the teachings of the spiritual, like my training.
Yes.
The medium is always in
Control. 100%.
Period. The day that you give spirit license to do whatever the fuck they want,
that's why yeah.
It's a choice.
Yep.
It's an absolute choice, right? And you have to understand how to, if you don't understand your own frequency, it's going to be really hard for you to discern a spirit's frequency. Because if you're looking at science, right? We have a frequency, like we're 99.5, they're 99.7, and they're stepping into 99.5 to be able to speak. Mediumship happens in 99.6.
Yes.
Yeah, in that in between. Hypnosis happens in between. Connections happen in between, where they're stepping over into 99.5 where we exist. So you have to understand your own energy. And I don't channel like just by myself out in the wild. I don't. I typically, because I don't offer it as a service yet, to be honest.
Yeah, I get it. And it's a whole thing. That's why I don't do it. I mean, I'll do it with you, and I'll do it if we ever teach a class, I'll do it.
I'm not seance trained yet, right?
Right.
So, because like you need to understand, you need to have a battery. You've got to have a good power source that's trained. So like I love doing trance when you and I work together, because you know how to hold the space. You know how to be my battery and keep that power going.
Yeah.
Also, if you're by yourself and you're like, I'm going to trance channel today and just record it, then what's going to happen is your conscious mind's like, yeah, I'm on a beach with Juan, the gardener back here. And I don't need to come back. And you've got a deity coming in and be like, I could stay here all day.
Right.
2 hours later, you're like, whoop, I just lost time. Because you don't have someone there to hold that battery to ground you. So like,
and that's why you and I do mostly conscious channeling or mediumship, because it's also because we're teaching so much, we're working. It's kind of like a thing. If you watch, like there's one trans medium, she's on YouTube, and I think you'll know who she is. I gave her as an example to my students. She's British, of course. And she always has someone there with her the whole time watching her, but she could just see how it takes her 5-10 minutes to get into the state. And she's a well-seasoned trans medium. Yeah. And so it's kind of one of those things. If it's your thing and you really want to do it, then know that like there's so many steps involved to like prepare the space, and then holding the frequency, as well as someone being there to act as your spot.
Right. Well, and it's just that energy, because it takes a lot of energy. It's not actually, to be honest, like how many times have I said to you before a Glenda class is coming up, oh, something big is coming. Because for 3 to 5 days prior to a trance mediumship class, where I'm also expected to share energy with others, not just one person, it's a class full, then I can feel spirit expanding me. And I'll text Kara, girl, oh my God, I can feel it happen.
You cannot believe who came through. I'm always like, hang on, let me go get my coffee.
Right. And you know who I'm calling with the voice notes first.
Right.
Like I'm walking out of Glenda's house to my car. I'm like,
you're not believe what happened.
Because you're not gonna believe what happened. But it's not just, so that kind of energy is a little bit different when you're in a classroom setting, because you're sharing energy with everyone. So if I'm in a classroom of 15 people, there's a battery, but it's a shared energy. Right. So it's different than just one person sitting from another, right?
Yes.
And so there's a constant energy exchange. And that's what you have to understand. If you're going to do trance mediumship, you have to understand how frequency and energy works. Yes, it can be very natural. I just taught a class, my first in-person class of I think there were 20 people in there.
Oh, awesome.
Of people who, most of them had not done trance work before. Many of them have either studied mediumship or had dabbled. There were only a few that had never done any of it. And they're like, well, here we go.
You try.
Every single person did it.
And that says a lot about you as a teacher, obviously. And also the thing I think about a lot with channeling is people feel it's almost like, here's the vibe I get. This is what spirit gives me. It's almost like, you know, when you do double dutch and you're like, okay, you're jumping in. You're like, I don't know if I want to jump in. I don't know if I want to jump in. And because it's literally like diving off a diving board, jumping into something because you're just going into the void and letting yourself fall freely. And some of my students, there's a couple of them, if they're a little self-conscious, there's a moment where they're like, I don't know. I go, you'll know when you're ready. You know, you'll just know when it,
Yeah.
Right.
Honestly, like it's not it. If you have a hard time blending with spirit to do trance, it's because you are putting up some barriers and there's some fears.
Could be fear there, uncertainty, all kinds of things.
There has to be a deep dive of why. And that's what Glenda and I worked on quite a while, like getting me past my fear.
Because you had, yeah. And so that's
because I was afraid.
Lorenda, because boundaries with spirit. And for me, to be honest with you, because I was so nervous for so long about things like possession. And even though I did not grow up at all with a Christian household like that. I just grew up when The Exorcist came out and it scarred me. But I was also worried about aliens taking over my body. It was a bad time to grow up in the 70s. I'm just letting you know, right? I'm like, that's not a good, but anyway, but you're right. And you have to clear, like you're saying, you have to prepare, you have to clear out a lot of misconceptions, fears, subconscious, anything about boundaries. It's really, right? So,
right. So let me just say, if you have the thing that keeps me from having those fears, and it was simple as Glenda going, but you have your guides.
I know.
I'm like, oh yeah. So because I use my guides, not just for mediumship, not just for trance channeling, but like just every day. They're my bouncers. They're my entourage. If I'm looking at it from a big Leo energy, I'm like, listen, I need a security detail. So, so I utilize my guides and I trust them.
But that's what a lot of people, when they're starting, don't even know what that feels like. And that's why you've got to go through all the steps to build the acumen.
How many teachers have you seen? I could think of a list that have said guides are just for us. They're not necessary for any other things. You and I are so
on the same page. Are you kidding me?
No, my guides are they're my entourage. They're my security detail. They are like how I'm getting all bougie with that. They're my people.
They're your people. Okay, so here's a good question. Can either one of you tell if I actually did channel when I was 14? I feel like I did. I felt like I also did it through automatic writing. Yes. Those are different forms of channeling.
Yes.
Yes. So most of the time, like I was saying, that's why we were going to talk about the different levels of channeling and why there's different types. And that automatic writing is something much more, it's a conscious channeling. People are
because our conscious mind is still actively aware and it's coming through our conscious mind. And
you're doing the telepathy and you're blending. So, which I think for me, this is just the way I am. For me, that's the most useful one for my work because I'm working with energy. I'm working with people's healing and I'm also working connecting them. And then I'm talking to so-and-so, sort of like Oprah, like who's here, who's talking. Do you need to learn something? Are you clearing out a chakra? What are you doing? It's just all different. It's kind of a different, but yeah, I so love that. The thing about what you said about the guides, because this is just you. How many times do you talk about your guides in a day?
They're like
I say 20 times. They're like, we love those girls. They just
I know. What's funny though is when I go on vacation, I will say, let me be a human.
Really?
But then when I went to Italy, I'm like, hey, JK, these are ruins. You want to step in and help me?
Oh my God. That's the thing. You know what I'd love to do with you sometime? Historical mediumship and go to these places. That's what I want to do. and just pick up on, I'd love to go to Greece. Think about it.
Yes.
Do you feel what I'm feeling? Are you picking up what I'm putting down?
I put it in my pocket.
I feel like I'm going like, let's talk to all of the goddesses and let's talk
to all of them. And now that I understand the goddess, the different, like with the goddess energy, and even then, like just learning how to discern the difference between the masculine, you helped me through that. You're so good at goddesses. Remember when Carey came through? I'm like, who the fuck is this?
I know.
Listen, calm down. I'm like, I don't know what it is.
She won't be a what?
And then she comes in and you're having a whole conversation with her. But also understanding, like when Rising Phoenix comes in, Rising Phoenix is a masculine energy.
Yeah.
Just like Dr. Mike is a masculine energy, even though he's in guide level, he's the 99.7 versus my 99.5, right? And the deities are like 107.9. Like, do you like that? They're like, they're playing symphonic music up here. And so, but understanding even just the difference between a masculine flow and a feminine flow and the deities, you helped me through that a lot to help me. Because I bring through, which is weird to me, a lot of deities.
Well, it makes sense because here's what's great is that you're open, you're willing, and then you share your experience with your whole heart. And that's what they love, because then you become a voice for them without judgment and people can have their own experience. That's what's so powerful is that that's really what I feel like most of them want is just a starting of a warming up a relationship. That's what deities want. They just want to be here to help you, but they realize, hello there, partner. They realize there is that was probably a deity now. I don't know.
Honestly.
Yeah, thank you. I know, right? Exactly. Just kidding. But I feel like spirit's wanting a voice, and when you're open, like you are,
and they have so much knowledge to share with us that if we're willing to listen,
I know
they do. How many times have you like channeled something? And you're like,
I know.
Oh,
it's so good.
Oh, and you know it wasn't your thought because you're like,
oh yeah.
No, especially automatic.
Oh, you got the dizzy bird. That's the coolest thing I've ever seen.
That is so cute. It's so
cool. And it matches the crown. Didn't even over the shadow of the crown.
Which is funny because I just brought through birds yesterday.
Oh, did you really? That's so amazing.
And a mediumship. Yep, I did. Birds.
Well, it's funny because
yes, Marie.
I kind of feel like there are, that's probably why. So here's the thing, and this. It's kind of like what you're doing with Alyssa. You're making the thing for us to. Oh, I love that too. Oh my God. Sorry. I love the flower crown. I'm such a hippie.
I just realized we're getting presents. Thank you, friend.
Thank you so much. We're so self-absorbed. We just
we're so
kidding. I'm joking. We're just looking at YouTube. Our eyes are like that.
Yeah, that's true. We're trying to look.
Why it would be really productive to do channeling regularly is because of this reason. Here's what it's like if you're wanting to learn something specific. You're wanting to channel something specific with certain beings, certain entities, certain guides, and you're wanting it to be like something where you do it. You're bringing through a lot, like much like what, who am I thinking of that was always in the Akashic records? And there's a whole thing some 100 years ago. Help me. There's a whole institution. Someone will help me. Someone will think of it. Anyway, he was a sleeping prophet.
Hold on. Yeah. Edgar Kaas.
Edgar Kaas. Oh my God.
Yeah. The person that I don't talk to anymore was actually trying to make me like the modern day Edgar Kaas.
Oh gosh. But the beauty of like that whole thing is because he channeled consistently for a long period of time and his body of work is so massive. And that's what I'm noticing now because I'm working with the archangels, right? Yes. And I'm like, how are we going to work this out? How are we going to work this out? And they're kind of like going, we think you need to channel. We're going to have to go in and do it. And I'm like, how are we going to work that in the schedule? Like problem.
Have you seen my schedule?
Have you seen my schedule? But I think that's it, Lorenda, because I think like when you're channeling something, because there's certain information even for you and I, which could be a stretch when you're learning certain concepts, maybe even concepts which have to do with like ascension or would have to do with stretching ourselves, stretching our consciousness, maybe to include something like light beings, extraterrestrials, their guidance and information. Even though when you're really open and you're conscious and you're expansive, you're, even for us, our minds can be like, well, you know. So that's why this provide more depth, interest, and insight, but that would take a big commitment and regularity, consistency, right?
It does. And honestly, like if you're going to do this kind of work, if you're going to do that's, if you want to be good at it, you do
have to do it like literally like all the time. Yeah.
You do. And not all the time, but you
like
do.
A couple times a month.
It's a constant conversation with your guides. It's constant connection. It's constant doing the thing.
Well, that whole thing of like channeling and letting go and doing trance, and that what that would require. Sorry about that. We have that because of we're on YouTube platform. Sorry. It's really good on YouTube. If you come on YouTube.
All clear on YouTube, go there.
Yeah. So anywho, so I think
you have to practice. You have to practice because also that builds trust. It builds, and with trust comes discernment.
Yes, exactly.
And so if you just do it a couple of times, you're not going to be like, I could totally do this piece of cake.
Exactly.
It's
That's
practice.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It really is.
Just training yourself. Yeah, that's why I sort of, but we'll see. The jury's still out. It might, if I get something, and you know me, if I'm going to commit to something, I have to anchor in. So it might need to happen. Dang it. Not that I don't want to do it. There's an echo. If you don't like it, head over to YouTube. Thanks, Ems.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. So what else do we have? Text yellow, gold, text yellow, gold. I don't know.
I wonder if she's trying to do some sort of emojis or something.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it's coming through as.
Yeah, we're like, so anyway, speaking of getting hot,
I know, like, I got to meet Jen. Fun fact, I got to meet Jenny in person.
Oh, we love you so much.
Yeah,
in Oregon. So listen, I'm going to ask you a question.
Please do.
And you can say no.
Okay.
You know what I'm going to ask you?
No.
How do you feel about doing some channeling?
Oh, I knew I was going to do that tonight.
Yeah, I'm not doing it, but I'll be here for the battery.
I'll start tuning in and kind of opening up a little bit. But yes, absolutely, I'm here for it. I knew I was going to do it tonight.
And I knew you were, and I knew it wasn't going to be me because I did readings all day. No offense, nothing to anyone in the crowd, but I did readings all day, and then I also just was on YouTube. Hang on, before this, because I do like you're like, I hate this new puzzle on. Oh my God, you have to line a plant up. Who does that? What happened to the puzzle piece? I mean,
come on. Nobody's got time for that.
Lorenda's probably going to do some channeling.
I'm going to start energetically aligning to make that happen. I'm asking.
Okay, good.
My guys, we've already been doing it, which is which is why I heard my name. I've been hearing the dragon voice, the disembodied dragon voice. I've been like, it's a lot of stuff's been going on for a couple of days, which I kind of knew.
Yep.
There'd be some channeling happening. I'll start kind of digging in.
Yeah, just do your thing. Do you need anything, by the way, before you're gonna tap in, my love? As far as we can actually keep juiced up, you're juiced up.
No, I'm like just kind of letting it settle in and dropping in. So I can keep talking, but there was, let me pull up my questions here. So for you, what came first, the mediumship or the channeling?
Channeling.
But did you know it was channeling?
Mediumship did not. That's a good question. I did know it was channeling, and it was because of this book. Honestly, so what happened for me in my awakening, which really briefly, I started with psychic and I started with energy healing, and I think you know my story. So I wasn't even thinking about mediumship before. I didn't even say, what's a medium? Talking to spirits. I just picked up on things and kept going. I was focused on the person. I think I told you that, but channeling was very interesting to me because a lot of people in the 90s were channeling. Do you remember that? Like there was, you were. There's a lot of people starting to channel when I was in my 20s. A lot of, if you look it up, some, some not so good. Or, who knows, but there's just a bunch. So it was interesting to me, and I started sensing it. And I suspect I was connecting with some of my guides, obviously, and channeling them. And then I just kind of moved on to the next thing. It wasn't necessarily something that got me, but I was doing it for about a year and a half, where I was just opening up, and then in my class and doing it that way. It was fine. It just wasn't, I was kind of like, I'm moving on to the next thing. That's just, Sag moon, Sagittarius moon, just kind of, yeah, that's fun. It's fun, but which, now I'm in a different place. So I think it would be different. And I'm needing information from a higher dimension on certain topics that I can't reconcile. And I've been talking to you about this because they're teaching me a technique which has where I have a barrier, and I'm like, okay, if you're telling me about that people on Earth have these soul histories, which would be off planet, and you're asking me to teach that, I have to have evidence that this is some, so I'm stuck there.
It's funny how you and I were like, listen, that's all cute and everything.
That's cute. Yeah. Starseed. You're
going to have to bring the nuts and bolts to the situation.
Mm-hmm. Yes. You have to bring these nuts. You really do. I couldn't help it. Oh my God.
Oh, I love it. Jenny's like,
you're a Libra. We know these. Yeah. Libra.
Hands for the big TV. Ready?
Woo! Hello, everybody. Hello. Woo. So, and you tell me, you were medium first, right? Because that's how it went for you. Is that what happened for you? Remind me.
But I was doing tarot. But I didn't know I was doing mediumship, doing the tarot. I thought I didn't know what I was doing. I thought
I didn't know
I had to see that you had to actually physically see spirits to be a medium.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I know.
That you could just get messages or understand things and call yourself a medium. I had no idea. It took a medium which is so weird how that all played out. To learn to be able to connect those dots. When another medium was like, wait, you're doing cards and getting what? I'm like, well, I can do the cards and then a picture will jump off of the cards. Like I might see like the Empress, and what jumps off is like maybe the water. And I feel like I've talked about the water, and then all of a sudden a grandma will be talking, and then I'll know it's from grandma.
Yeah. That's why people that's why people who, discount tarot and that you can't do mediumship and tarot, I think it's a real disservice. We know this because a lot of people, that's how they channel. And this is goes back to the beginning of channeling in time.
Lorna. Yeah, exactly. Well, and then this certified Camp Chesterfield medium that I just happened to meet because her wife was in my dance company.
Love that. That's right. Oh my God.
Weird story. I love that story. And she was like, Lorenda, can I ask you something? I'm like, of course. She was, what do you think a medium is? And I was like, you have to see dead people. Like, I don't see.
Yeah.
And she was like, no. If you know a grandmother's there delivering a message, that's mediumship. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I didn't understand the difference.
Exactly. And this is where there's so much education. It's like how people expect God source to only communicate through one power. Isn't that true? And also it's very, and we could talk out for hours about that, but it also came from, I think, when in the theosophy in the 1800s and then moving all the way up, anytime you have people of a group start to sort of say, this is how something is, and it has to do with spirit, you're already starting off on the wrong foot. Because it's just like how I could go on and on a history lesson. I will not do that tonight.
Yeah.
But I will say that we do not need to manhandle how we get messages. Can I just say that?
We can, because you and I teach very similarly that way. When we're talking mediumship or receiving messages, divine, any kind of connection, you and I are both pretty hardcore about allow spirit to meet your person where they are. My job is to give them the confidence to understand the channels that they can receive information from. My job is not to tell you how you receive it. And if you receive it in a different way than me, then it's wrong.
And I also think it's so exciting to watch people define their way of getting information. And then they can finally, there's the healing as well,
Yes.
because then they're not trying to be something they're not. And they're accepting themselves as they are. And then they're opening up further, because part of, as Lorenda was saying so beautifully, part of connecting with spirit is being open, which means acceptance. And meaning when you're accepting and you're not judging, you're out of your head and in your energy. And then you can channel how channeling comes in. And then you're really free. You're free then.
Right, right. So I'm going to make it. So those of you who have read the book Fourth Wing, I'm in the process. I'm on Iron Flame right now. This is a really good analogy. Spirit will put these books in front of me and I read them and I'm like, wonder how this is going to apply, other than like getting me out of my own head. This is really cool. Yeah. So now I've got a dragon voice in my head.
I love you.
But also part of the premise to this particular book is these young people who are coming into this school. They will be a dragon will choose, they'll be dragon riders, right? But they also they're powered by a source, their dragon, get a sigil, which is a specific power. Every person has a different sigil.
Who is the author?
Rebecca Yarros.
Do we need to be friends with her? Because maybe we need to interview her. Do you think she would talk to us?
I feel like millions of people read this book series. I don't know.
She probably really like us.
I really hope she's working.
We bring snacks and we're very nice. And we're moms. So we'll send a fruit basket.
It's true.
For it.
It's a great idea.
Think about it.
We should find out. Hey, Regina, find out where she lives. Does she live in Oregon? What if she lives out west?
Oh my God, send it to me.
Like, I literally know nothing about her. I have not done a deep dive on her. Somebody find out
that stuff, like you're got those specifics of a sigil and encoding.
But to me,
that's like.
But to me, that is the same as mediumship.
Right.
And when people say to me, well, what's my Claire? I'm like, I don't know. What day is it? Tuesday? Tomorrow could be different. I don't claim to be like a Claire, Rebecca Yarros. I know there's echoing because we're on two different platforms. You have to go to the YouTube. There's no echoing.
Come to the tube of you.
But before her, I was reading Throne of Glass, which I'm telling you right now, those of you who've read Throne of Glass, this is now renamed my Aelin Galathinius crap.
Oh, that's because of that.
Oh, that Sarah J. Maas. Oh my gosh. You saw my post about when you're crying over the final book in an 8-book series and you're having a meltdown.
Oh, I saw. And weren't you on the plane? Someone asked if Lorenda and I have both been married over 25 years if you would put our husbands next to each other, you'd never assume they had wives that were doing what they do. One's an engineer, one's an attorney.
A corporate attorney, like corporate tax, real estate development attorney.
My husband's a chemical engineer. So yeah.
We're the ones that in the car, when hubby's driving, we've got the music on singing to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, honey, your mom's coming through. She wants to give you sometimes it happens.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
It does. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anyway, the idea of how mediumship, and even now, trance is very specific to how they come in. Trance is different. Channeling, though, you could do channeled writing. You can do, and you know what? Maybe if you can't get out of your own way in your head, then you say, okay, spirit, take over my hand.
Right.
And you start writing unconsciously, just like you might get snake, blue, dirt, whatever, weird random words. And then you just kind of let that consciousness, that you learn how to just start writing what you're seeing. I feel like going back to like talking to Alyssa yesterday, a lot of people actually can channel through music. Like spirit will come in and give us what we know. They meet us where we are, especially in mediumship.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in mediumship.
Right.
And as teachers, our job is to teach you how to connect in those various ways. And trance mediumship is one of those ways as well. It may not be for you. You may be terrified because you had an upbringing of, well, that's the devil, Bobby Boucher. Or and you know what? That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. Also have grace for yourself and where you are in your journey. So you can accept spirit coming to you with whatever way that you feel comfortable. Because they're your team. They're your people. They're your entourage. They're your security buds. They're the ones that do the thing for you. So not Bobby Boucher.
Bobby Boucher.
Bobby Boucher. So, but I think you and I teach similarly that way. Like, I love as a teacher, if I could be, for those of you who've read, if you've listened to or read Fourth Wing, I would be a professor at Bose Gaiath, whatever, War College. And I'd be teaching people how to take their specific gift, their specific signal, their sigil, and how to hone each one. I may not be an expert in it.
Right.
I may not be an expert in it because I have my own sigil. I have my own gift, my own power. But we've learned how to depend on our guides, AKA the dragon, for power source. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. It makes so much sense. And the other thing is that the partnership between us and our guides, and how it's part of the fabric, the interior of our energetics. It's part of the contract. It's part of what we have, and resting on that and knowing that that's part of what helps you learn to develop as a medium, and also on your journey when you need them more than anything.
Also, even if you're living a Muggle life, if that was your chosen route, where you're never going to be a medium because not everybody wants to do that. Right. How do you, first and foremost, how do you connect to your guides? Because they are your team. Right. They're your team. They're your spirits. They're helping you, and you are a classroom project for all of them too. So how do you allow them to do their job, allow them to learn from you, you learn from them, even going through everyday life? How do you utilize it? It's a fucking freaking gift.
Exactly. Are your husbands home often?
No.
Some comments here are not really making me happy in the chat, and I don't know if on your end you can do something about that, but I'm not totally. I don't think I can somehow. Like we can do it on TikTok in the same way. Is tingling over your head? Are those? Can you do something about it?
Let Carey talk.
Yeah, I'm like, can you do something about that comment? Because I can't do anything.
I wonder if that meant we're going to allow her to explain.
Yeah.
What did you mean, Piggly Wiggly, by shut up and let Carey talk? Are we like talking about our guides? Are we talking about tell me to shut up and let Carey talk?
We're trying to understand, because we do have a thing of being polite and kind and respectful. And so we are inclusive and supportive. You could have told you that. Yeah. So I kind of feel like maybe we need to, can you look at your website?
I don't know what it means.
I know I can't either, but
we'll give it.
Yeah, I don't care. I know you can leave on your own accord. I can't. It's not necessarily that. I thought we were having a nice
that. Yeah, it's like you're asking really good questions and stuff. What the heck?
Yeah, no, you were asking great questions. What happened? Anyway, those are some bad vibes. I don't know if on your end. Yeah, I tried that already.
It was on my end. As they were coming through my link.
Did you take care of it? Did you?
Did.
Okay, I think you got it. Click on the name.
She's like telling me to shut up and let you talk. And she's
oh my God. Oh yeah, we're not worried about it. Okay, good. Yeah. Just like that actually, it's so different than compared to TikTok, because we're used to like a bunch of bottom feeders that come there, but we can click on them faster. I was like, shit, I can't. Okay, it's
like they were asking really good questions. I wasn't offended by
I do not know what was going on, but there you go. Yeah, Emma's like, those are some bad vibes. Yeah, I mean, as soon as we went down the road of I bet you two aren't married, I was like, okay, it's not going well. If that's
well, no, I read that as like, Or do they work a lot? Like, I honestly didn't think anything.
Yeah, troll is a troll.
Natural, but they were asking actually good questions.
I know they're asking great questions. Anyway, you live, you learn. But now you know. Okay, so now I know. So I've never had it on YouTube before, but now I know it's either on your end or my end. So, but we have the power to do it in the moment. I was like, I hope we have the power to do that in the moment.
We did.
As if there you go. Anyway, so yeah, so one second. Okay, good. Okay, we got that cleared up. Well, there you go. We had our first troll. Now I feel like we kind of initiated.
But I didn't think they were a troll. They were until apparently because I was talking too much.
But who says that?
But also, like, who have they met us? We just that's how we talk.
Oh my God. I don't know. I mean, the internet, what are you going to do? But just as many, silly people. There are so many amazing, because this is so exciting to meet all of you guys. Okay, let's take some people's questions. Do you want to do that, Lorenda? And then if you just start jumping in with your energy, let's get some questions. The internet, great. Big breath, reset. Exactly, Angel. Exactly.
And I need to I feel like my energy is kind of like amping up here, and I do.
You just let me know, sweetie. I'm here for it.
Because I'll be like, hey, please pause. We're going to go into this.
Yeah.
But I'm not quite there yet. I'm trying to figure out. I do feel a male energy. This should be.
Yeah. I'm excited.
I feel a male energy. I'm going to see who this is.
Okay. I'm here for it.
You take some questions and I'm going to.
Okay. And if you guys have questions, Lorenda's going to be doing a channeling demonstration. And so I'm very excited. So I want you guys to watch how her energy changes. Okay. Notice how it switches. Hi everybody over there. If the sound is bad, Lorenda and I are also on YouTube. So if you're having a problem with the sound, we can't really do much about it. I'm so sorry. And Lorenda is going to channel. So I would probably jump on our, either one of our YouTube channels. Oh, so nice to meet you, Chakra Love. So glad you're here. Anyone that has a chakra in their name, I'm going to be friends with you. That's how it is here.
That's how it is.
Yeah. So anyway, oh my gosh. Hi, Christy. So Lorenda's going to do some channeling. We're here hanging out. And Regina, can you help with any questions? Because I'm going to be concentrating on my friend's energy. Hi, Carey. So Lorenda's going to do some channeling. So I'm probably going to take my eyeballs. I'm going to be staring.
You got to give me a minute. I'm still getting my zone. So if you want to
but anyway, if you guys have any questions while she's never seen this before. Oh, another person I'm going to tree hugging lover. Who are these people coming in just for me? Chakra, tree hugging lover. Welcome. Lorenda and I love you already. This is like a show. I think we should.
I know.
Maybe we need to do something. Maybe we do a podcast. I don't know. Would we? Oh my God. They were telling me that when I was sitting here, that.
Yeah. All right. You keep chit chatting. I'm going to I'm
going to just read these. Tingling. Oh, hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome. So exciting. Tingling over the head. Are those guides or something else? Just curious.
Sometimes.
Yeah, it depends on the situation. That's a great point, Annabelle. So I'm going to put my eyes on her so I won't be staring.
Oh, I'm good. I'm going to let you know as
Regina, can you field questions or let people know? Good to see you guys. I'm just keeping my eyeballs on my girly pop.
Oh, I will verbalize to you too.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to figure out who this is. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring in Lily first because she will change my energy.
Okay, good. Whatever you need.
Whoever this is talks with her hands a lot, though.
Okay.
And I can't tell if it's deity or if it's like.
Okay. I'm excited. Excited to have a chat.
So keep talking. Keep talking to me.
So anyway, we want to welcome you all here. And just so you know, this is Lorenda Carr medium, my dear friend. My name's Carey Kaas. We're both mediums and mentors. And we are having a conversation all about the different types of channeling and how answering people's questions, letting you know how it works, the mechanics of it, but also that there's many different types of channeling. Lorenda is going to be demonstrating trance channeling. So we just are happy to be here. Just hang out. And if I don't get your question right away, we have a moderator in the on the TikTok room, on mine at least for sure. I think some of you guys are on both. That's great. And also we're on YouTube. So if your sound is a little funny, it's going to be better probably on YouTube.
Okay, so I think
I can feel the shift.
Yeah, I know. Lily's coming in. Okay, we're going to bring Lily. Lily is my joy guide. She's the one that manages my frequency. And a lot of times when I'm doing demonstrations like this, she'll come in and start speaking and kind of set the stage for who's coming in or what to expect. So just kind of, it's crazy. Like I can't even open my eyes right now. Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello, Carey.
Hello, Lily. I'm so happy to see you.
So good to see you and speak with you again. Oh, you're such a lovely soul. Oh, and your team's amazing. I just love spending time with them. Oh, what a wonderful team. And your father, he's always around you. You know we love seeing you and having so much joy with Lorenda. So today, I understand we're showing and we've been preparing Lorenda energetically for this to bring through a more masculine energy today. This is not a loved one. This is a not a what you would call a deity necessarily,
Right.
a very higher level spirit that you will definitely relate to. And he's got some things to say. Now, keeping in mind, just for educational purposes, just so you know, we don't have gender necessarily. We're not what you would call man or woman on the other side, but we have feminine energy and masculine energy because it requires both for us to be balanced, and for the world and in spirit and in the earth plane to be balanced.
Yes.
So I am going to move out, and as I'm going to explain what we're going to do. So I'm going to move out, and what we do is an energy shift in Lorenda. And this is what happens when we work through mediums like this, and you'll notice that her body will shift and things will change. But so as the teacher, I would challenge you to notice what just take note, what changes, what is different between me coming in, between Lorenda's personality and existence versus the guest that will be coming in.
Lovely.
So I'm going to be stepping aside, and we're going to let this very, very special guest come in. Okay. All right. Thank you, Carey. It's so
Lily. Love you. Good to see you.
Love you too. Okay. Greetings to you, my friend Carey.
Hello. Welcome.
Thank you for allowing me to come in today. You may refer to me as Saint Francis.
Oh, lovely. Nice to make your acquaintance.
You as well. I enjoy protecting and bringing through animals.
Yes, I'm very familiar with you. It's so nice to meet you.
Oh, thank you so very much. And as a message for those who are watching and participating. Many that are being aligned right now are very connected to the animal kingdom.
Absolutely.
And I know that you, as well as Lorenda, are as well. And we challenge here on the other side that you learn to connect to your animals a little bit differently. They are on a different frequency and a different vibration. But we have noticed that you, Carey, for instance, have been getting more animal vibrations, have you not?
That's absolutely true. Thank you. Love
Mhm.
that. Love that frequency very, very much.
Yes, yes. And it is important for there are a few people actually in the chat. That is chat. Is that what
Yes,
you call
that's
it?
correct. Yes.
Chat. We are learning that have recently lost their beloved pets. And I'm here to explain and understand that they are here and they are always with us and they have found a sense of relief. And I am one of the beings that they are drawn to when they cross over.
Mm-hmm.
I welcome them.
Oh.
And you are aligned with your specific animals for a very important reason in this lifetime. Some animals come in and they have chosen to challenge you in ways. And it is our responsibility to teach them how to come through and to be the best version of what they intend to be. And then your guides, your team will align you with the souls that you also need to learn from. And right now, Carey, I can tell you, you have one specific animal with you, one soul with you that needed your healing, that needed to be with you. They needed to find you, and you have healed them. You have given them hope and given them peace. And they chose to come in to be with you.
Mm.
So we thank you for your contribution to this.
Oh.
And we are adjusting Lorenda's vibration.
Yes.
Just know that animals, no matter how great or small, have purpose here.
Yes.
And that while I am the saint, as you call it, I am their ambassador.
Yes.
And I truly enjoy this work. And I thank you all that are watching and participating. And there is one that is watching, and they know who they are, that understands that they have a calling to work with animals. And this is really specifically why I came in today. And she will understand this message. So thank you for allowing me to share this space with you and to share this energy and for holding down the energy for your beloved friend and soul sister, Lorenda.
Yes.
Thank you so much, our friend Carey.
Oh, thank you.
Even unless you have questions. Do you have questions?
Well, I just want to thank you so much. And many, many people are specifically giving confirmation of your presence here and the things you're saying. There's many things that they're giving validation on. And also, Lorenda's dog just passed a few months ago. So, and other people's. So there someone lost their dog yesterday. And even your name, someone just had surgery at a hospital named after you last week. So we really just thank you for your presence and thank you for we love, all of us love our animals very much and they give us so much comfort and ask not for much in return. So thank you for taking care of them And we appreciate you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for saying all those wonderful, kind words. And I just, again, thank you for your time and space and energy, and for allowing me to come through and to deliver this message of continued hope and continued energy. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Blessings.
Oh,
that was amazing. I started getting all teary really quick.
Oh, that was a beautiful energy. I've never brought him through before.
I know. And you have to look at all of these comments, Lorenda, on everywhere. There was so, as soon as he came into, a lot of people just lost their dogs. You should scroll through the,
okay, I'm going to scroll through.
It's very emotional. And I think, something like that specifically was so much a communal message, Lorenda, that everybody had, because everyone can have that. You know what I mean? Which was very unselfish, and why we love the spirit world so much because of that. That was just so meaningful and very special. And thank you so much for opening yourself up. I could really, and then I did want everybody on another level besides the beautiful messages that St. Francis brought us. I was like right away, just like, I could feel his heart. And a warm hand. Yeah, everyone's getting so much evidence. Wow. That was so magical. And it just shows that we can assume, I just lost Minnie and my Rocky's leaving Tuesday. You see what I'm saying? Like, look at that for Christy. That's like everybody's had it. There was so much. I'm so emotional. Like, and that's what's so great about spirit, is because spirit always knows exactly what everybody needs.
They align. They will put
much bigger for the whole group, not just for like two people. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I think that was something so relatable and something so amazing. And someone just lost her dog yesterday, and then someone else said their cat just passed.
So because I only heard the first part.
Yeah.
It's like a distant echo. It's hard to explain when you're in. It's a distant echo, and I can kind of hear in real time what's happening. But then within about a minute.
Yeah, I can see your facial. And that's what I was going to say. I'm going to give everyone a minute to give their beautiful comments. What was so amazing is to see the facial change. I really saw him. Sorry, I really saw like his masculine, more of a delicate masculine.
Yes, I think he has a round. Did he have a rounded face? It felt like a round.
It did not look that way in my instance, but again, it's spirit, right? So it's more. It was more like
a different shape than my face.
Yeah, different. Oh yeah, obviously, and it was masculine too. But it was so amazing. Like I just felt that so much, and what a gift. And that's the thing, is like, if you're going to be like, Lorenda was really, and someone said they noticed the neck change. So the beauty of it was that exactly what you explained so well is the link is as you change your energy, so you can link. And then that's when like the magic happens, because that's as close as you can get to the spirit world. Really, I think so. Don't you think so? Really, like for a group, that's what's so. This has kind of made me go, nah, I need to stop being so salty, because I'm like, I don't want to channel. I'm kind of like you. I got too many things I'm teaching. I don't want to channel. I'm like, wow, but that is amazing. So let's get some feedback. So Jenny's observation was this. I'll put it up on the screen.
1800s. That's funny.
Yeah. Lily, yes, she's very refined and
very refined.
Beautiful hostess, Lily. She's every time I feel like such a connection with her, and she remembers my dad is my mediumship guide.
Like, oh, did she? Like when Lily comes in,
he said, and your father's here again. She's so sweet. She remembered that. And let me just see what Amy is saying. Animals are so special to a lot. Their short lives make an impact. I think that's really why he came through, to be honest. I just got my angel number on the thing. I'm not even angel numbering. I'm getting 33 is my number lately, Lorenda. It's literally happening everywhere. I feel like that's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing.
So that was incredible. That was an incredible demonstration, and also very comforting in many ways. It was so, you know what, also, Lorenda, why it was so special, it was so not what we were expecting, but exactly what we needed in this crowd. Don't you think so? I mean, I was like,
I love that they never tell me who it is.
I know.
I trust that whoever's coming in will introduce themselves.
Exactly.
And so let's talk about what you guys witnessed.
Yeah, we want to hear your, and I'll put them up on the screen, babes.
Yeah. So what kind of things did you guys notice when Lily versus St. Francis coming in?
Mm-hmm.
What did you notice? What physical features did you see? What
energy?
Did anything? I don't know. What? Again, my eyes are closed.
Yeah.
When my eyes are closed, I can still see everything.
Yeah.
Because I'm seeing it through their eyes. It's crazy.
So beautiful.
And it's also really important to understand while everybody's typing their responses to what I just said. People often will say, well, bringing through deities and spirit guides don't count because there's no evidence. However, I feel like there had to be evidence here. There had to be people here grieving the loss, and everyone here watching.
Yeah, that was so much.
Wow, that was
was the transmission. I mean, that was the transmission.
Yeah.
Is that a lot of people needed that. And that was something that is hard to get. Okay, so Amy said,
tone changed,
the mouth changed, seems to change. Exactly.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Very different personalities, but the benevolence of both was very apparent, which is so great because think about divinity. In the divine realm, there's so many different variations of frequency, all for a reason. Let me kind of go into this.
And
also, here's a big one. Unless she was just talking to St. Francis because she has snakes in her basement. I told her to get a St. Francis statue so she could tell him, welcome. That's so specific.
So specific.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so beautiful. I mean, really, like, what was also kind of special is that, so, part of my background before I decided I'm a pagan and just committed to it, I was going to the most progressive part, a wing of Christianity, which is the most liberal part, is the part of where I am, where the Episcopalian, as you know. Mm-hmm. And we would have a whole St. Francis Day and we'd bring our animals to church. It was like my favorite day. Yeah. So I can channel. Do I do it very often? I think this is my sign. I got to start doing it. I do channel. I started channeling and when I was in my 20s. I mean, I've gone off and on with it. It's also like, I think obviously you can tell from Lorenda and I's human personality that it's not, I don't want to say it's not hard for us to channel, but it's natural.
Yes.
Okay. So yes, and I do. Sometimes I usually bring them through with my community. Like I've channeled some of the guides I work with, and I've channeled Hecate, so I tend to do more conscious channeling. And I was just, as I've been mentioning, for me, it's because I'm helping so many people, with their abilities all the time, but I feel like they're putting me more into another driver's seat. So I'm going to definitely look at it.
Well, and I've had students that can easily channel and they struggle with mediumship. And I'm like, lean into the channeling.
Yeah. You got to go where you're getting the tug. It's like, where's the high priestess pushing you? Or is she encouraging you?
Right. Okay. So somebody asked.
Yes. Where are you looking at that? Do you want me to, is it Amber?
Hold on. I saw Chakra Love ask, how does spirit come through like that? Yeah. And so earlier we were talking about how I have to ask for my guides to adjust my frequency from human muggle level to expanded energy, where my frequency, my radio station, my vibration can play the same music as what they're playing. Right. So
great song.
And so when my energy is expanded, their spirit can blend with mine. I give them permission to use my vocal cords and they can start speaking. So that's how.
That's the technical. Yeah, we like to break it down though, because I think it kind of takes out the mystery of it, I guess, or to think that, sometimes when you watch, like, let's say you watch people that channel all the time, like Bashar or some of the other, who's the really nice one who channels the V's? He's really sweet too. I like him. And then this woman I told you who's English, you have to watch her. Oh my God. She goes into the masculine voice. It's like, you know how that is.
I do. Well, and what was interesting was St. Francis, I purposely dropped my chin for him because like, oh, masculine energy, but I feel like he didn't have a deep voice.
No, he was very, my observation of him was he was very fluid. Like he's not heavy masculine, heavy feminine. He's very well balanced, which says a lot about the saints, to be honest with you. And if you, just that archetype, whatever you believe about him walking this earth, anyone in the audience, it's really up to your interpretation. My sense is that he did walk this earth physically, and so he has a very close link with the physical world, and that's why he's able to give so much empathy, especially connected with animals, because he knows how important that is, right? And that was incredible. I mean, that was like one of the best channelings I've seen in a while, because why? It was so personal to everybody. So personal to everybody. He asked if there were questions. I was so excited to ask questions, but realized he was talking to Carey, but felt he was talking to me. Dang it.
Well, sorry. But also it's tougher because to do virtually, because it's tougher to do virtually, but keeping up with 3 screens and then her being my battery.
Yeah.
And her holding the space.
Yeah.
If somebody asked what's the difference between channeling and trance, we talked about this earlier, but you weren't here yet. So I'm happy to give a quick breakdown. Channeling is letting the stream of consciousness come in and we consciously either speak or write, where trance is a blending of the energies and the spirit speaks through my body, through my voice. Okay. So what chakra love? I had an old woman scream in my face when I was asleep, but I'm not sure if it was a relative. Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah, that would be it. That would be
it. Ask me like
an interesting one. I would say to your guides, hey, can you put a little barrier around me? Please, no wakey uppy. No wakey uppy in the middle of the night. That is not an option.
No wakies. No.
Yeah, you can boundaries. We were just talking about this earlier, chakra love. Is that boundaries with spirit is very important. And you really just have to like ask your spirit guides to watch over your energy and you're good to go.
Right.
People complicate it too much.
And this is where, again, having the relationship with your guides is important. And yes, you can channel without them, but at least with my guides, I know 100% for sure I'm not going to bring in, if you're a sitter and you have an abuser that is on the other side that you don't want to hear from ever again.
Yeah.
Your guides are going to run interference and not allow that spirit to come in.
And and here's the thing. People talk a lot sometimes in the mediumship community. There aren't any negative spirits, So we don't want to say that, but there are energies that are very messy out there. Let's put it that way. And we do need boundaries. And absolutely, we don't know all the things.
# messy spirits.
And also, listen, love and light is also a little bit of denial. Come on. I mean, we got to have boundaries. And you also, I say this story to Lorenda, but love my grandfather so much. He loved me so much, but he was a racist. And I can hear him in my ear, which still, I'm like, listen, man, I love you. I loved him so much, but he was a racist. And I still am like, do you have any idea like who I am and my friend group? And that I will, Keisha K. I make it talk about, I grew up in Oakland. I mean, hello. Like, do you want me to? I'll kick you out of my whole team forever if you say one more.
Say one more thing. Yeah.
One more time.
One more time.
I hate it. But
and they are. And I believe when you leave this earth plane, without having learned lessons and you were in a lower level, that's exactly where you're going to go, as a lower frequency, and or a different, not even lower, just like
so you got to
not the same frequency as someone up here who is borderline master
work
energy.
on it. Mm-hmm.
You know? And then
that aura, you still got to cleanse the aura. It's, yes, they have more perspective, right? They might have more perspective, but at the same time, it's still, you still need your boundaries as a medium, and you still have to use good practices to really cleanse your space, set your space up, and be mindful, call your guides in, everything Lorenda is saying. You know what? I don't have a nickname for you, and I need one. I keep wanting it, but I'm like, what is it then? I'm going to think about it. It's got to be really cute.
For what?
Like, a nickname. I need to have a nickname for you. I'm gonna think. I'm gonna find it. No, I'll queen it.
That's the collective, what they think.
Yeah, I know. It's got to have an L in it. I'm not going to share it with everybody until I figured it out, because it's a private.
When Matt was alive.
So anyway, I was going to say, just like we can tell when we connect with our loved ones, like when they had disease, when they have disharmony, when they have physical illness, things like that, you pick that frequency up. If you think about perspective, mental, things like that, that's a frequency you're picking up still. It doesn't, it's not like all of a sudden they become like the Pope. So I shouldn't have said that. Listen, he was a great Pope. He could have my
dog that just passed.
Yeah.
Was named after that Pope.
Oh my God.
Piper Francesca. Well, after the Pope, because my kids love that. I love that Pope. I don't even like.
I love that Pope. And I know I had a lot of. We could talk about that for a long time, because I grew up in progressive.
It's a whole other podcast.
It's such a long podcast. Lorenda.
Yeah.
Entertainment. Oh yeah, someone's all. Can you do it again? Probably not tonight. I think this could need to be a thing though. I think it might be.
I do love channeling. I love doing trance work. It's effortless. I don't have to think. I don't have to ask questions. I just allow it. It's the lazy. It's the lazy person version of mediumship.
Oh my God, you're hilarious.
I'd be like, listen, I'm going to go have.
Listen, I'm going to go.
Here,
get tea and get my drink, and I'm here for it. Mm-hmm. But it is really, what is so great about it. Let's remember something else about it. That's more of the other piece of the vibrational, since we're talking about that. It's bringing through a healing frequency. I have to close my eyes when I say this. It's bringing through a healing frequency. That's what Lorenda is bringing through her channel. She's sending energetic. It's coming through her that we got that blueprint of that healing, which was part of everyone's consciousness. That was everybody needed. So Lorenda is the conduit bringing through that healing. Right.
And that's what it felt. And especially when I brought through Violet, Queen Violet, with her violet flame. And I could feel the little pieces of the magic, the flame in my hands. I could feel it. It was, and I knew it was a message for me too.
I know that. And you were embodying it. So you were channeling the frequency, because you're not having to know it intellectually, because you're channeling the frequency.
Correct. Right.
That's a game changer, man.
It was. It
right
was.
there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the big deities that I've brought through in the past, I've had some even say, remember that time I channeled Dolores Cannon?
Oh yeah. I wasn't there for that story.
I mean, you weren't there. It was in class. It was like in class.
I know.
That was amazing. And she was like, and we're going to allow Lorenda to remember this.
We're gonna
and I was very, like, all of a sudden my conscious mind was way forward.
Yeah.
And I could hear and comprehend, and I remembered the conversation afterwards.
I know, that's amazing.
Where normally, again, it's kind of like a dream. I
wanted you to drop in and get it. She wanted you to have that in your consciousness.
And it was important at the time for what I was going through. She needed to come through and validate some things that I needed to know, that I thought, oh my God, would she be disappointed? Because she's the founder of QHHT and I'm doing things different, but also the person I was working with was really trying to remember that whole thing.
I do.
And
that shizzle show.
It was
shizzle
disturbing.
Show.
And I was like, am I going to lose the connection now? Like, and she was like, mm-mm.
Do you want to know my theory about that?
Sure. Bring it.
About that, about QA, about her, but also anytime someone brings through a specific energy entity, humans make the spirit, they have all these pre-expectations. Mm-hmm. And they think that because they are so close to the spirit, it shouldn't be like that. It would never be like that. She'd never say that. He'd never do that. People do it with their deities all the time. They're like, well, Hecate would never say that. Or, you know, or whoever, right? It doesn't matter. Put the name on it because people project their, people project their, we call that UPG, your personal gnosis. And they think it's like that. And that is not what the spirits want, because they want a personal relationship. They do not want someone to be. So in Dolores Cannon is like, I'm still trying to teach my stuff, not be sequestered through all of you.
Right.
You guys are manhandling my shizzle.
And the part of it,
the Jesus Cristo. Think about that.
Right. And part of the issue with that whole scenario was the person I was working with, who's very knowledgeable and like a lot of things, was asking, when I'm in trance, was asking Dolores Cannon questions about things that were in her books. And Dolores kept saying, please remember that everything you receive in my books, videos, conversations came through a human filter.
Exactly. That's the problem with everything in this entire universe. Haven't you thought? Especially when we're talking about, we could go on. I have to close my door though, so hang on.
Yeah, you do that. You do that. So it was a very big realization.
Yep.
Because in that conversation, I felt Dolores Cannon, the first time I channeled her, like set boundaries. And was like, I will continue to work with you in this capacity. However, here are my expectations. And then those boundaries were not honored by the person that I was working with.
Yeah, see, there you go.
And I'm like, I can't.
You have to, that's happened.
It's not, and I'm not trying to be mean about that person. I mean, this person had their own work.
No.
And they were pushing boundaries, but I'm like, if we're going to do this, I can't.
Yeah. You know, you can't have the human try and doctor the spirit or try and manipulate it.
And that's what it felt like, was manipulation.
And this is what I'm going to say to any of you. I hope I'm not offending anyone who is a Christian.
Like you care.
If you're a Christian, I'm not saying anything about Jesus. Let me tell you. So here's what I want to say about that. When I would go into church growing up, and I went to a very moderate church. You know, I'm a Presbyterian. There you go, right there. In California.
You are?
I grew up.
You know that I was baptized Presbyterian?
You were? That tracks.
That's a whole other.
We're so wasp. You and I are so wasp. We're so wasp.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress.
Yeah.
So, but one thing I would remember is I would see Jesus like walking down the aisle, kind of like a spirit. And I guess I was medium. Anyway, and I would sit with him, and then I'd be listening to all of the stuff going on with the preacher. And I was like, this is so intellectual. Why are they teaching it like this? Like, why aren't they just like, let's connect with his energy? It never made sense to me.
Right.
And even when, so when you see, you know, all the theatrics that have gone on for centuries, or the control or the manipulation, the whole point is that any spirit, even Jesus, is trying to connect with you directly, not have someone as the in-betweener, unless they're doing a clean channel like Lorenda just did. But notice Dolores Cannon came to you because you have no horse in the race too.
Right. I had invited her in because we were wanting to get clarity. It was supposed to be an experiment, like,
right,
get some clarification on these books. And a lot of what she was asking were books that I had never read. So it was a good clean slate. Like, and then like she was giving, I went back and watched the videos. She was giving like information and trying to say, not all is what it seems.
Mm-hmm. That is so good.
Jesus was a medium. Did you read The Secret?
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, I've read that. Like that came out like 20 years ago. Hey, Linz.
Yeah.
That came out like 20 years ago now. Oh my God.
More than that. Like my daughter was little, like I want to say like 30. Like I was dating Matt when I read that.
Oh my God. Yes, there are books that are missing from the Bible. And that's a whole nother, that's not even one conversation. That's a PhD right there.
Right. That's a podcast.
You better stop playing with me. You better stop playing with me. So here's the thing. That's Presbyterians for you as someone who sings at yes, they love some intellectual. So here's what I want to say. Even though I wouldn't consider myself an academic at all, I do love a good bit of academia because why? Because I like research and I like going down deep into something. However, there's so much of a barrier between the intellect and between connection. And that's where you lose so many people. And, no, literally, where I went to church was 2 blocks from UC Berkeley, that'll show you right there. A lot of intellectuals. So I always felt like I just don't belong in this place. Everyone's sitting in their head and Jesus is walking around and everyone's talking about him like he's not in the room.
Right. What is happening?
What is happening? I mean, no, right. You're baptized Presbyterian. Yeah. My mom I was lucky. My mom was very, very progressive. She was like, oh, you don't have to come to church. When I was 13, you don't have to come. I was like, thank you. Okay. Just because it was for you.
Like, I remember my mom taking me to church because I wanted to go to church. I didn't know why. I just knew I needed to go. I know what it was. When I was little, we were very poor. And I was like, rich people go to church. If I want to be rich, I need to go.
Oh, by proxy.
Yeah. But then I'd sit there and be like, wow, that doesn't seem like a nice thing to say.
Yeah.
Because I was going to small town.
Right.
Church where the Triple K organization was in full swing still.
No.
It still is in that town. Like you just, I remember sitting there, but also I knew people there. So I wanted to go to church. I wanted to go do that and be part of singing and then just understand, like I could feel things, but I couldn't put words to it. I had no idea. And I remember at that age going, I wish I was psychic.
Oh my God. See?
I wish I could do these things and had no idea that I really could. And meanwhile, my mom and brothers, all 3 have predictive dreams. I do not. I don't have predictive dreams. I have dreams where I'm like processing my day.
Yeah.
And also listen. So remember how I told you I was asking spirit, I'm like, why aren't I dreaming now? I kind of miss dreaming. Why can't I like dreams? I love analyzing and breaking down what they mean. And I dreamt all night, still can't figure out what any of it meant.
You need to go to the dream. What's her name? Laura.
It was the most bizarre dream I've had. And I can't tell you how long. And then that's when I heard Lorenda. I'm like, listen, do you mind just like breaking down what the dream meant?
Like, can we get a dissertation?
But I felt like I heard, we're just making up for lost time. That's what I felt. Like the amount of things that I saw in one dream in such a short amount of time was bizarre. And none of it meant anything, I don't think.
Yeah.
None of it made sense.
Yeah.
It was crazy. But that's how spirit works. Like be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
Because you just might get it, especially when you're working with my guides and apparently a dragon or something. I don't know.
A dragon. Yeah. And this will really get you. But, right. My funniest, not my funny one. I shouldn't say that. One of my best spirit encounters was with a Sasquatch. I told you.
You did. I love that.
I 3D. So I never was sitting on my back porch. I live in Oregon and I was meditating and I was not soliciting this at all. I was not even thinking about it. And all of a sudden I felt this really tall, like a 12, 13 foot energy that just felt like a gentle giant. And then I knew she was female. And then I immediately felt the heart connection. And then I had my experience, and she asked me if I would heal some of these waters that are in where I took you, the Columbia River, when we went there, remember? And we did that together, and they're very sort of reclusive energetically. So it's just very, they're so beautiful. I wish I connected with them more. There's just so much there. But anywho.
But don't you feel like they're in the same kind, not same exact realm, but like when people talk about fairies and leprechauns and the magic and all these things.
Yeah.
Like I didn't believe in fairies until I felt one sit on my shoulder and be like, listen.
Especially you're Irish. Jesus, girl.
I know. And
Jesus, don't you know about that?
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
But then like this fae correct me like I'm not a fatty.
Yeah, they don't play around.
They don't.
They don't. No, you gotta respect those guys.
And then catching him on camera also. And then I didn't believe it, but don't you feel like it's not that they are like here floating around doing the thing, right? Mm-hmm. It's more like they're in that they're a 99. They're a 99.4 energy, where we are 99.5.
Definitely elemental. And one time, this happened more to me, right? Yeah, because like last year, I think I talked to you about this, but that's a whole nother conversation. We have so much we could talk about.
I know.
Oh my God. But anyway, there is this. They showed me this last year because I was teaching this in the school, and we were talking about elementals, and all of a sudden we were meditating, I think with the students, and I saw the in-between space of the elemental realm, and it was just so rich and beautiful, but it does not function like ours at all. There's not that sense of order in the same way, but it was superimposed. And I saw many different spirits coming through on multiple levels. And it's so, it's so fascinating. It's literally a subculture of spirituality that a lot of people just kind of think, oh, tap in. But
that's a whole other, I'm telling you, it's a podcast.
My students is very Lilia. I don't know if she's still here. She's definitely that's her niche. She's like one of her niches. I go, girl, don't try and fit into anyone's box. No, that's a thing. Well, this has been like the most fun I've had online in ages. And here's why it's been so much fun. One, you're amazing and I love you. And like, we never run out of things to talk about.
Ever.
Just the forever. Like, I feel like I'll close my eyes going, oh, there's something else. Another thing
just send it to me telepathically.
I'll be sending it. Oh my God.
So,
but also, first of all, that channeling was so extraordinary. I'm so touched. And you know what's so great about that? Because you and I have had our share of crazy on the internet, being internet people. But this was so beautiful and so special and so magical and such a witness of spirit. And I think everybody got something out of it. And we did too. You and I personally.
We did. I do. And that also is one of my medium is always in control rules.
Yes.
If I'm going to channel someone, it needs to be beneficial I need to learn something as well.
Absolutely. I'm sorry. My sister's trying to call me on the Sorry, guys. That was my sister trying to call me. Who loves animals, by the way. She's probably tapping in.
See? Mm-hmm. There's that.
She was also a psychic. She and I trained 30 years ago together.
It's all good.
Yeah.
But, I forgot what I was going to say. But anyway.
Sorry. You were just saying about you. But that's a very special one, Lorenda.
That was a good one and much needed. What was interesting is all week to validate that too. Like yesterday, I literally brought birds through for a sitter. Mm-hmm. And earlier in the week, I kept getting all the pet communicator stuff kept popping up on my FYI.
Yeah.
I'm a pet communicator. Like that's not my wheelhouse. I mean, I do. If they come through, I'm like, oh wait, there's a dog here. Okay, let's talk about the dog.
I know. I love it. I love it so much. I love it.
I know it's echoing, but that's why we were telling people because we're multi-streaming.
Yeah, we're streaming on YouTube. That's why we're
on YouTube.
we're not really looking at you, and we're like over here. Sorry.
Right.
Yeah. Emma's like, we're all where there's an echo.
I know. There is.
All right, Lorenda, we'll have to do this again. We got to figure this out. I know you and I are like, Lorenda and I both have, we're teachers and we mentor, and we also do it professionally. And so sometimes it's hard for us to like blend the two universes, but we've got to work on this somehow. We got to do it.
I know. Well, and I was supposed to have come up with a date to teach my trance class.
Yes.
Came up with a list of dates that are now upstairs that I can't get to right now. And also one of the dates was sucked up today because we got our competition schedule and I'm going to be tied up. So now, but I'm looking at as early as May, the Sunday in May, like May 18th, I think, whatever that weekend of the 17th or 18th. So it'd be in a couple of weeks, but it's either that or it may not be until a lot later. Like, I don't know. It's just this time of year is so tough because I own a dance studio, for those of you who don't know, and we have a competition team. We've got recital coming up. We've got, and not only that, like we have 5 branches to our competition team. So like I got a lot going on. I teach 4 nights a week, and then I teach all development class twice a month. And then, so I want to do my platform mediumship class. I've taught that with your people. That was amazing.
Yeah, it was so much fun. I know more people are going to want to do that again.
I know. And my issue is I just don't have, when I have time, it's like during the day when everyone's at work.
I know. I wish that was different in life, because I think we would all work different hours if that was the case.
Yeah.
I think we'd have a whole different thing.
We have a whole thing.
Mm-hmm. We really, really do.
Yeah. So anyway, but thanks for having me on.
Oh my God. It was so much fun. I had the best time. I'm so thankful. And thank you, St. Francis. And also we want to thank all of you guys for being so incredible in the audience. This was like, we got a good crowd.
We did.
There's Tony. So happy for all of you. We're just finishing up. Actually, we will do it again. We promise we'll do it again. You know what, Lorenda Lou? I think that
you just came up with the name Lorenda Lou.
I know I was going to call you Lulu, but I don't know if you like Lulu.
I don't mind.
Okay, that's going to be it. Okay. That's what's going to be the name. I feel they were telling me before, but I wanted to run it past you, and it just came out. I think what we could do, Lou, is we could probably do something this Fridays, because Friday's my YouTube day.
Oh.
I don't know how it works for you, but like a Friday afternoon after.
Your afternoon is my.
I know, but is that too late? But then you do have a husband who probably wants to hang out with you Friday.
He doesn't get home till 7 usually.
How that could work if we did like say 4:00.
Unless I'm day drinking with friends, I don't know. Because I don't work on Fridays, so.
Oh my God. I wish we could do that on the internet. We can't do that with when we're channeling, but it's fun.
No, I don't do that.
No, we cannot do it.
I don't.
Although I've seen plenty of people doing tarot and drinking.
I have too. Remember that time?
Yeah, I remember that time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we want to thank you guys so much. This was like so good. And if you're not following Lorenda, I know you guys already are.
If you're not following,
yeah, I think we're all following. I think it
on all platforms too, because we still don't know the fate of the tickety tocketies. And I know, like,
you think Jeff Bezos is gonna get it? Jesus Christ.
I don't.
I'm at this
oligarch. Some other oligarch's gonna get it.
That's oligarchs. I'm trying not to give them any freaking energy. I'm just watching the shit show.
I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and
keep doing what you're doing. You're lighting the light in Indiana.
And then, did you see my dumb video that I posted on YouTube? I have 162,000 views on that video.
I freaking love it. It's on your other account.
No, on YouTube, on this one, on my regular account. On my.
What did you do? What did you say? Something funny?
It was literally the lip sync video where I'm like, "Speak. I heard you just fine."
Oh, that's right.
It took off the 162,000 views. And then like the next video I post is also equally funny. 12.
I know that's freaking YouTube, man. But I am figuring out YouTube. You just got to post regularly. That's the whole thing with YouTube. They see your face.
I agree. And that's what I do. Like everything that I post on it's all recycled. I just post
Yeah, that's great. I know I'm having good traction on my shorts.
And I don't even really follow
shorts. So, we're doing whatever.
Yeah. So anyway, that's again, a whole other podcast.
Yeah. Oh God, I need to see. Okay. I think we could make this probably happen. Because remember, podcasts do not have to be
we could pre-record them.
Dude, there's so many ways to slice that bread. But think about how I'm going to look into this, because if we do it intuitively, where you could do it with a live audience. I'm going to look into it. And this would be so spontaneous, because we could do a dem, we could do conversations, we could have talk. We'd never run out of material.
We won't. Just a normal conversation.
Because people want to listen to people that are friends, I think.
True.
Because also we're going to tell funny stories. And we're going to sort of talk about our husbands, but not a lot.
They don't watch. It doesn't matter.
They
has never watched.
Never watch.
He does. I don't even know if he follows me on social media. I have no idea if he follows like my medium.
My husband doesn't have any social media. Actually, no, he watches YouTube shorts for the comedy. YouTube shorts for the comedy. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
My God, start a podcast. It's good to start a podcast.
Jenny, I don't know if it'll be either end of June or first part of July that I'm in Oregon.
Yeah.
I got to coordinate with Carey.
Yeah, we're figuring it out. Oh my God, I got to tell you something.
Do you want to call me after we're done?
I'll do, but we have to go out to dinner. All I'm going to say is there may be another location where Mama might be working a little bit.
Tell me.
I'll say when that JJ works. He's the one where he's doing.
You did tell me this.
Did I? Yeah. So I'm having an interview next week. Anyway, that's what we're doing here.
Sending all the juju.
I know. I love you so much. Okay, we're going to go, but I love you guys. All right. If you guys need anything, you know where to find us, because we're everywhere.
We're everywhere. We're in your dreams.
Oh my God.
Or nightmares.
Oh my God. I love you so much. I'll text you probably tomorrow, because I'm going to go we're going to get a burger. I don't know what we're doing.
Well, I'll probably be texting you too, because I got class tomorrow. I'll be like, oh my God.
Yeah, text me. I'll be around. Bye, you guys. Love you.
Bye, friend.
Later. Bye. Oh, wait a minute, Lorenda.
What?
You have to talk about how you go live every Thursday, and then I go live every Friday. So you go live every Thursday at
10 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Eastern
Eastern Standard Time. I'm looking at adding a couple of nights a month where I can do nighttime. Once recital's over, I can do all kinds of nights.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be in different locations, because I'm going to be traveling out west.
That's kind of exciting. We could do it live together. Okay. Oh my God.
So much energy.
The wheels are spinning.
I know.
We could go to a haunted location. No, we're not. Okay. But a nice one. A nice one.
We're gonna be a menace, is what we're gonna be.
We could go to the McMinimans. You remember the place we went? Just a quick one. Hang on. Remember the place we went at the very end, almost the day you left, and we had, we had a burger and we had a little cockatiel, McMinimans, and it was the cute one where it was like an old school.
Yeah, old school, yeah.
Imagine, because all those places have freaking got ghosties. Ghosts. I'm going to think about it.
It's going to be fun.
That's a great promo.
I know. But also, tell people when you're live too.
Sorry.
Where can we find you, Carey?
You can find me here on YouTube, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time every Friday, just like Lolo. And the other thing I was going to say, and I go live on TikTok to do readings sometimes too. Different, I just do straight readings, but although that's kind of very hit and miss because I'm a busy person.
Same.
We're busy people.
We do try though.
We really try. And I've been having more fun on TikTok. My crowds are small, but I don't care. It's fun.
Yeah, mine are small too, but like my YouTube's smaller. So
yeah. But tonight we did good. Woo! Okay, we love you guys. Thank you so much. Yeah, Forest Grove is amazing. All right. Bye, everybody. Love you. Okay, yeah, follow me on YouTube. Follow her on YouTube. That's where we are. Bye, everybody. Bye. And what am I doing first?
I already closed out though.
Oh, thank you. Yay. Okay, I love you. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.